Hello and welcome here to Talking CB and welcome back to the channel here for another video here today. And this is something a little bit different. Usually, of course, we're talking about transfers throughout the summer. There's not an awful lot going on in terms of on the football front, something we can actually talk about Barcelona related. But of course, today was the big semi-final. France against Germany. France against Germany in knockout rounds in international tournaments has not gone well for them. They got a really bad record against Germany. But today, as the home nation at the European Championships, they have managed to reach the final courtesy of Antoine Griezmann's double against Germany. 2-0 it finished on the night. And one player that I want to talk about in particular, of course, is our new signing, Samuel Umtiti. Now, what I was going to do originally is do a video on his performance, analysing that and having a look at what he offered against Iceland, which is when he made his French debut. But I decided not to do it against them, but really to see if he kept his place, and then do a video today looking back on those performances, and in particular the one tonight against Germany, because let's just take into consideration that Samuel Umtiti is a man that is very established at club level. When we spoke about him about a week or so ago, when we were looking at how good a signing he was, when we were looking at him, we saw that he made a lot of club appearances for Lyon, but what he hadn't done is made any appearances at the very top level of international football. He'd never made a senior French cap. In the game before that, against Iceland, in the quarter-final of the home European Championships for France, Umtiti made his debut. And on that debut, there was nervy moments, there was a few times where he was caught out, but in general, he performed very well. And in fact, he completed every single one of his 76 passes on the night. It was the most passes completed without missing one since 1980. Fantastic stats for a central defender, and a lot of the time what you see is those sort of passing stats, they're going sideways, they're going backwards, they're not really going any. But what I really like about Umtiti is that he's willing to take a risk. A lot of those passes were forward, a lot of those passes had precision, they had urgency, and that's what you want to see from every single player, particularly if you're going to Barcelona. There's a passing, and then there's passing with purpose. You need to always pass with that purpose in mind, always try and go forward, always try and start that attack. Of course, be patient, be cautious, but at the same time, you've always got to be going somewhere, you've always got to be penetrating, and that's what I really like about Samuel Umtiti. And tonight, I want to talk about his performance against Germany, because I think as a 22-year-old player, as a player that's not experienced at international level, and you've got to give credit there for Didier Deschamps. He's put trust in him, he's put faith in him, he's kept very faithful to Samuel Umtiti. He left him in there for the Iceland game, he made his debut there, and then tonight, his second ever international senior appearance for France in a semi-final in Marseille, where it's absolutely packed full of French supporters. The expectation is high, the pressure is very high. How exactly would he perform? And he managed to take his performance to an entirely different level. He tonight was outstanding. Of course, the headlines will go to Antoine Griezmann. He's had a terrific tournament. He's the top goal scorer. He sent France into the next round with those 2 goals. But Samuel Umtiti at the back, of course, the French midfield was very good as well. The whole French team tonight played with really good spirit. They played well as a collective unit. But Umtiti at the heart of that defence not only played well defensively in nullifying Germany's attack, they didn't really have a sniff inside the box. They didn't really have anything to go from. A lot of Germany's attempts, a lot of their close attempts were from outside the area, but certainly inside the box they didn't get a chance because of Umtiti. And every time they managed to get something in there, a ball in there, somebody playing a pass, he was there to read it and snuff it out. There was a particular moment where the ball was bouncing around the area, very dangerous ball in. Umtiti read the danger and intercepted it very well. And the one thing that I liked most about his performances tonight was him going forward. And now for me, that sounds a bit stupid, doesn't it? You know, we're talking about a centre-back, we're talking about a man that's got to defend, but at Barcelona, we know that everything is about playing with the ball. Everything is about the ball at your feet, how you can handle that pressure, how you can take the pressure off the players around you by being good with the ball at your feet, and Umtiti ticks every single box. And I have to say that, quite honestly, me, and I think quite a lot of you as well, have possibly underrated actually how good this player is, and where exactly he's going to slot in next season. I think a lot of us had the impression that for just 25 million euros, Umtiti was going to come in, start as a squad player, was going to work his way into the lineup, was going to start maybe as a left back, as a replacement left back for Jordi Alba, and work his way in. But I can say now, after seeing this performance, after seeing him grow as a player and as a person, he could be knocking on the door for that centre-back slot very early on in his career. He's having a very good European Championships. He's probably going to start the final against Portugal, which is again another huge game for him. But I would not be a bit surprised if come next season he is knocking on Javier Mascherano's door saying, I want your place. Because tonight he played really, really well. He was composed. It was a really high-pressured match. And very, very interestingly, following the last game against Iceland, Umtiti was asked in an interview, they said to him, how are you going to handle the pressure at Barcelona? How are you going to deal with that sort of pressure, having to perform every single week at a club like that? And he simply replied, wait and see. He said, you'll see. And then he smiled. And he's that kind of character. He's a character that knows his abilities, he's confident in himself, he believes in himself, and I think deep down he'll understand that he's deserved this move to Barca. He's earned it. His performances at Lyon last season were outstanding. He's gone to the European Championships. He's been very, very patient in the way that he's had to wait to make his debut. It came in the knockout rounds. Deschamps put a lot of trust in him, and he has repaid that trust. France are in the final. They've had some fantastic individual performances, but tonight Umtiti really, really was outstanding in the way that he played with the ball. And one very, very interesting instant in that game, again, like I'm talking about, going forward, playing with the ball, he brings the ball out of the back, and he did that not only once but a few times, where he received the ball within the back four and then he just made his way out with it. He's strong on the ball, he's quick, so he knows that he can bring the ball out under pressure, he can escape the danger, he can avoid challenges, and he did that on a number of occasions. And what he does then, when he gets to the halfway line, he decides whether he wants to pass the ball on or he can keep going with it. He's got that athletic ability, he's got that ability within himself to carry on that run, and he did that a few times. And what he did then, when he got into the opposing third of the pitch, he had the option then to play an easy pass, which would have been a sideways pass to Bakary Sagna. Instead, though, he played a ball in between the left back and the centre back, in behind the lines, in behind, that Sagna could run onto, and then a chance appeared for Antoine Griezmann. And from that one pass, from that one piece of play, from a ball playing centre back, you've created a chance. Instead of taking that easy pass, instead of taking that easy route, he decided to go one better than that and push himself. His confidence. And that at Barcelona really is a quality that you cannot teach. You've either got it or you haven't. And I have to say, the fact that we've got this man for just 25 million euros in the current market, in any market really, it's a fantastic deal. And this is a player that over time, we're going to see how good a deal this is. Over time, we're going to see somebody grow and really discover their potential. Because Umtiti is a player that seems to suit us down to a T. He's strong, he's quick, he's good on the ball, he's good in the air. And he really does look like the complete defender. And I think in terms of his versatility, we spoke about that. He can play at centre-back, he can play at left-back, but now I'm really starting to see him more as a centre-back player, as a partner for Gerard Piqué, and as somebody who can certainly fit into our defence. And you look at him, and you look at his characteristics, and he is a match made in heaven for Barcelona. He really, really is. And tonight, if you haven't seen that performance from him, I'm sure there'll be a video on here somewhere for some amount of time. I didn't want to put any clips in because I know the copyright is very, very strict for these European Championships, but you will maybe find some clips here on the internet somewhere. But he was really, really good in all areas of his game. He was calm, he was composed. On what is probably the biggest night of his career, he passed it with flying colours. And certainly I'm very, very interested to see what the French media have to say, and also the Spanish media, because after the last game against Iceland, there was a few questions, there was a few doubts about his performances. People are very, very quick to jump on new Barcelona signings, the Madrid media in particular. I'm very, very interested now to see how they react to this game, because Umtiti was outstanding tonight. He read the game well, he was composed, he did very, very well in his defensive duties, but he also did well in creating chances, in going forward, in taking the pressure off that back four. Because whenever you bring that ball out, whenever you sort of create something for yourself, you completely take the pressure off all the players around you. They're not worrying about receiving a bad pass. They're not worrying about being pressured into small spaces. They know they've got the fluidity, and they've got the desire then to get up the pitch and support you. He brought the ball out, Sagna was there for him, Griezmann was making the runs, Pogba was there as well, and Umtiti helped all the players around him tonight by playing at the best of his ability and unlocking the German defence whenever he had the opportunity to. And I think tonight he really showed why we've gone out there and we've signed him. And I myself, as you can probably tell, am very, very excited. And of course, this is not me heaping pressure on him. This is not me saying, oh, he's a world-class defender. He's going to walk into our team like any player coming into the team, like any player in our team. He's going to have to earn his place. But when he does, he's going to be a very, very good player and a very, very big asset to this club. Because like I say, he's only 22 years old. There's a lot more that he has to give, and there's a lot more that he's going to be given. Watch this space. Samuel Umtiti has arrived. And I want to know your opinions. What do you think tonight? I mean, maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but I really don't think that I am. Leave your thoughts down below if you did see the game. What did you make of Umtiti's performance tonight? Do you think the same as me, that it was really like watching a player that is moulded into the Barcelona system? I think that he is. I think he's a really good signing. Leave your thoughts down below. I'm interested to hear those. I will see you very, very soon. But until then, as always, see you next time. Visca! El Barça!